Hey, what's up, everyone? For those who know me from back in the day, you know your boy was the absolute king of extreme car crashes and insane vehicle testing in India. I used to push cars to their absolute breaking point. But today, everything changes. I'm about to show you machines built not to be destroyed, but to shatter world records. Look at this. This is our massive 20-foot giant bike. Right next to it is the world's only double-decker car. And bro, don't you dare forget our monstrous 8-wheeler car. Nobody in the entire world has ever dared to build anything like this. Their names are heading straight into the Guinness World Records. We were literally packing up and getting ready to head out to an amazing location to shoot these beasts, when suddenly, my grandfather called out to me from inside. There was something so heavy, so haunting in his voice that my boots froze right where I stood. As I walked into his room, the atmosphere in the entire house shifted instantly. It was bizarre, because absolutely nobody, not my sister, not my friends, dared to step anywhere near his room. Everyone stood far back, terrified. I was completely alone as I walked in, and sat right across from him. The silence in that room was the kind that sends an icy shiver straight down your spine. I looked at him and asked, "Hey, Grandpa, is everything okay? Why did you call me?" My grandfather looked deep into my eyes with a chilling expression of pure dread. He looked at me and said, "Son, you crash cars, you break records, and that is fine. But tonight, you are not chasing speed. You are crossing the borderline of death itself. You are going to a place linked directly to the darkest, most cursed history of America." He began to tell the story, and swear to God, as the words left his mouth, every single hair on my arm stood up. He told me that back in 1970, hidden deep within the pitch-black, suffocating forests of Pennsylvania, USA, there was a cursed place called Blackwood Village. Completely isolated from civilization stood a massive, notorious institution known as the Blackwood Asylum. The chief psychiatrist there was a man named Dr. Thomson. But he wasn't a doctor. He was a butcher. He performed unspeakable, horrifying, inhuman experiments on those helpless patients' brains. Experiments so cruel that even the demons of hell wouldn't think of them. He would cut people alive and drive massive needles into their skulls while they screamed in agony, with absolutely no one to hear them. Then, on one freezing, pitch-black night, the patients snapped. A wave of pure madness washed over the asylum as they chained every single exit shut from the inside and set the entire building on fire. Dr. Thomson, every single nurse, the guards, they all burned alive, screaming in agony. That night, the sky was filled with nothing but the sound of snapping bones and the shrieks of burning human flesh. The US government sealed the entire perimeter immediately, marking it with strict "no trespassing" signs. But that hatred never died. Top paranormal investigators in America firmly believe that Dr. Thomson's twisted soul still roams that dead asylum. But the absolute biggest shock came when my grandfather dropped the next part of the truth on me. He looked at me and said, "Son, Dr. Thomson's cursed ancestral chest, his dark diaries, and those horrific medical tools used to torture patients, they were stolen and smuggled out of America through a secret auction years ago and brought straight to India. And do you know where they are kept right now? Right outside our city, inside that abandoned, decaying 15-story apartment tower, on the very top floor, the 15th floor." Dr. Thomson's evil entity has crossed the 7 seas, tracking his cursed possessions straight into that 15-story hellhole in our own backyard. Anyone who has ever dared to step onto that floor has never returned alive. My grandfather pointed his trembling finger right at my face and said, "Tonight, right after 7 p.m., you must go to that 15th floor and face that demon yourself." Hearing my grandfather say those words left my entire body completely numb. I couldn't believe that the dark energy from one of America's most terrifying asylum legends was now lurking right inside a ruined tower near us. My family was watching from a distance, but not a single soul could utter a single word. Our entire shoot plan was completely thrown out the window. We weren't going to some cool location anymore. We were stepping right into the jaws of death. I turned to my team and said, "Grab the flashlights, secure the cameras, and pack the night vision gear. Tonight, we are going to show our audience a truth that nobody from America to India has ever witnessed before." It is now exactly 7:30 p.m. Our vehicles have just pulled up right in front of this decaying 15-story tower. The darkness out here is so thick that even our heavy-duty flashlights are struggling to pierce through it. Looking out the window, my grandfather's words are echoing like a hammer inside my head. The patients burning alive, the sadistic Dr. Thomson, and that cursed chest waiting at the very top. But then, suddenly, my eyes caught something. Look up at the very top, at that shattered pitch-black window on the 15th floor. Look right there. Something just flashed. A faint, shadowy silhouette. Almost like someone is standing right at the edge of the window, staring straight down at us. Bro, someone or something is up there, and it is waiting for us. The car doors heavy creak open, and the freezing night air hits our faces like ice. Nobody is speaking. The only sound is the gravel crunching under our boots as we walk towards the pitch-black entrance of this 15-story concrete monster. My cameraman's hands are shaking so badly that the beam of the flashlight is dancing up and down the ruined walls. The air inside the lobby feels completely dead, smelling of rotting concrete, damp earth, and something old, like burning flesh. There is no elevator, just a crumbling concrete staircase, winding up into the absolute darkness. Every step we take echoes through the empty shafts, and with every floor we climb, the temperature keeps dropping. It's like the building itself is breathing, rejecting our presence. By the time we hit the 7th floor, my lungs are burning, but the fear is keeping us moving. That's when the first anomaly happens. Suddenly, from the floors above us, we hear a heavy metallic dragging sound. Clang, drag, clang, drag. It sounds exactly like heavy iron chains being pulled across a concrete floor. My crew freezes. One of my guys whispers, "Bro, let's go back. This isn't normal." But my grandfather's voice is flashing in my head. He said we must face it. I look at the camera and whisper, "Guys, if you are watching this, we are not turning back. We are pushing through." We hit the 12th floor, and the atmosphere becomes suffocating. The walls are covered in strange, peeling black mold, and for a split second, our tactical flashlights begin to flicker and die. Total darkness hits us for 3 agonizing seconds. In those 3 seconds, right next to my ear, I hear a faint, raspy, cold breath exhale. Ha! Someone was standing right beside me. When the lights flash back on, there is nobody there, but the word leave is freshly scratched into the dust on the wall right next to my face. My cameraman is nearly in tears, but the adrenaline is pumping too hard. We have to see what is on the 15th floor. Finally, we step onto the landing of the 15th floor. The entire layout here is completely different from the rest of the building. It looks exactly like an old, abandoned hospital ward. Rusted iron bed frames, broken glass vials, and ancient medical charts are scattered everywhere. And there, right in the center of the massive ruined room, sits a heavy, dark, iron-bound wooden chest. It looks centuries old, covered in bizarre, deeply carved occult symbols. Dr. Thomson's ancestral chest. Next to it, scattered on a broken concrete table, are silver medical tools, scalpels, bone saws, and massive rusted needles, gleaming under our flashlight beams. Next to the tools lies a thick, leather-bound diary, its pages yellowed with time. My heart is hammering against my ribs like a trapped bird. I step closer, the camera focusing tightly on the chest. The air grows so cold that our breath turns into thick white vapor. I reach my hand out, my fingers trembling violently as they touch the cold, rusted lock of the chest. The exact second my fingers make contact, a violent, unnatural blast of wind slams through the shattered windows, throwing the medical charts into the air. Suddenly, the heavy iron door of the room slams shut behind us with a deafening boom. We are locked in. The flashlights start violently glitching, strobing uncontrollably. And then, from the darkest corner of the room, behind the shadows of the rusted bed frames, a tall, distorted figure slowly begins to rise. It's a silhouette of a man wearing a tattered, old-fashioned doctor's lab coat, his head tilted at an impossible, broken angle. The scent of burning flesh floods the room, choking us. Two piercing, pale white, glowing eyes lock dead onto mine from the darkness, and a deep, terrifying, echoey voice resonates through the very structure of the building. You should not have come. The cameras start cutting to pure static. The audio is tearing apart, and the entity takes one violent, unnatural step toward us. The screen aggressively cuts to pitch black with a loud, terrifying audio distortion. Snap. To be continued in the ultimate finale.